Alright, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Shane. Yeah. So, let's talk about coronavirus. It are going bad. It look bad. You know, there's no definitive plan that I see happening. You know, it seems that our only solution is to shut down. And I don't really want to. I don't really like to criticize. Especially if I don't have a better plan. And I don't really know exactly what's the data that the government is looking at or whatever, but I can't help but criticize the way that it seems that our only course of action when it comes to COVID is to just shut down. And I know it seems like that's what the governing bodies like who is recommending and leading countries like America. That seems to be everybody the only solutions that people can think of. But you see, Jamaica cannot just follow America lead, and this is something that I wish that our leaders will eventually understand. Well, America seems like the role model, or the standard by which we judge whether or not our country is doing good or not. They are like the peak, the beacon when it comes to a modern democratic country. But we have to understand that the realities of Jamaica is completely different from the realities of America. First of all, Jamaica does not have a strong social safety net. In other words, while we can make lockdown for a while, we cannot continue to do this lockdown indefinite thing, because what people don't realize is that Jamaica has a huge uh, informal economy, meaning that there's no practical structure to it. The only structure that there is to it is that people just go out and make your food, hustle, as one might think of. And so Jamaica cannot just lock down indefinitely. I know everybody is all about, oh, the virus, we're gonna die, and while that is understandable, I don't think this is the best solution for us. This is just a short. This I think this is very much a very short-sighted solution. You see, if we had a proper safety, social safety net, then I could understand these constant lockdown. But what is happening is that, as usual, poor people is gonna feel the brunt of all of this lockdown. You know, poor people are gonna feel it. People are gonna get let off. The poor people are gonna get let off. The bills, we're shutting down the country, but the bills are not being shut down. So we are stopping people from being able to work. We are stopping people from being able to make money, both formal in the informal economy and also also in the formal economy, because other businesses have to shut down. And the entertainment sector is completely shut down. They got a little win last week, and Delta variant and spreads increase. And it's countries shut down again. The transportation industry is getting hit badly as well, because now curfews are run at 7. Right? So the hours now that taximen that usually have to run is now cut down drastically. From most taximen probably run up until 10. It's now at 7. Curfew is at 7. So you probably have to stop working between somewhere like 6. You have to make rush, so you stop work before 7. And if you normally run up until 10, 12, you lose out on about 3 to 5 hours right there. Right? But the bills are not stopping. Rent still has to be paid. You know, mortgages still has to be paid. Food still have to be paid. Kids, you still have to take care of your kids. Back to school is coming up. What is it? We don't know what. There's no real formal information or anything. Is school going to be? Is it going to be an in person? School is going to be in person, or is going to be Zoom meeting again? And if it's Zoom meeting again, poor people are gonna be losing out there again, because Jamaica don't have the digital infrastructure in rural areas where in terms of internet and internet access. And then poor people don't even have, even if they do gain access to the internet, they don't have like tablets and all that. And I know the government did try to help out, and I have to commend you, because I said I don't want to just bash and not give solution, but it's still lacking in a lot of places. A lot of people still don't have access to it. And this informal teaching thing is not is really not effective, especially for kids in primary school or and early high school. Probably kids in like fifth form, fourth form, and sixth form, and college students can manage it because those kids are more responsible. But you can't. Oh, you're gonna tell a 2, 3 year old that hey, it's time to for class when he's at home and in his mind all along that yo, listen, when I'm at home, that's my time. So it's the transition is gonna be rough. So while people are championing this lockdown and saying that we have to lock down, we have to realize that while we try to save lives, while we know that we are trying to save the lives, and minimize the deaths and the fallout from COVID-19, let's not create another enemy. Let's not create another monster in the back end with our oversimplified solutions. Again, this is not America. America has a lot of social safety net. People are on unemployment. There's like so mortgages are put on pause, loans are put on pause. They have rents are put on pause. These are policies that are helping at least a large sector of the American populace. They have a better social safety net. They are richer than us. So we cannot, this is what I'm trying to say, we cannot just look to America and say, okay, let's follow their lead, because there's different realities in our country. Like, sure, okay, let's say we're going to shut down for like 3 months, but we have to figure something out beyond that. We cannot shut down indefinitely for like a year, another year, or this Delta variant. We don't know what's going to happen, but we cannot shut down for another year. And I know people are like, oh, let's push the vaccine. Well, there's the reality. Most people aren't going to take the vaccine. That's a reality. And yeah, you can blame it upon conspiracy theories. You can say people don't. You can call them anti-vaxxers, whatever. That now going to change reality. That a lot of people are skeptical, and the government around the world their approach to this vaccine thing isn't making it even any better. As a matter of fact, it almost seems like they are it's almost like they're proving the conspiracy theories right. Like, this is not how you approach a thing. Let's be more transparent with the population. Like, there shouldn't there be like a minister of information? Doesn't Jamaica, why are we only getting press conference when shit is going bad? Why don't we have a briefing every day or every Friday? Let's live with the Jamaican people. Appeal to their heart. You can't run a country like this. This is the thing I'm trying to say now. It's almost like we are trying to brute force a solution when we should be looking at the reality of our country, looking at the things, our strengths, our weaknesses, and make adjusting for that. Like, we can't just be saying things and expecting them, oh, we're gonna lock down and think, okay, that's going to solve all our problems. What's the mentality of the average Jamaican? What's the psychology of the average Jamaican? These are the type of questions that we have to ask. How are we going to approach these average Jamaicans? How are we going to ensure that we our message of vaccination get through to them? How can we mitigate? How can we answer the questions we have? How can we okay, not everyone that doesn't want to take the vaccine is a conspiracy, not our anti-vaxxer. There's legitimate questions. They are getting information from both sides. They are getting information from doctors saying that it's safe, and then I'm seeing information from legitimate doctors who's also saying, listen, I'm not sure about this. I wouldn't recommend taking it. So you can't just think that people are just out here, oh, anti-vaxxers. This is the thing. We have to understand that everybody have sense, at least to a degree. Everybody's reading. People are just like, personally, I don't think I'm going to be taking the vaccine anytime soon. But I also know the consequences, and I am also prepared to take deal with the consequences of that decision. I am also not going out to work from home. Thank God for that. I'm able to work from home. I'm fortunate to do that. I wouldn't advise everybody to take that position. No. Some of you guys gonna just have to get the vaccine whether you like it or not, because I think eventually they're gonna make it mandatory. If you want to work, you're gonna have to take it. If you want to travel, you're gonna have to take it. Right? And this is why I always preach self-sufficiency, being able to take care of yourself, start a little farming, because a lot of things that we want to engage in with the wider world, we aren't in charge of, and if they are going to set the rules, and we have to follow them. Like the Bible say that we are in the world, but we are not of the world. So Christians, for all of you out here, you know, a lot of you guys love to live and enjoy the world, but then get surprised when the world dictates their terms. Listen, you're gonna have to follow those terms, you know. Follow those terms. And I'm not an anti-vax. I just don't think, I personally believe, I don't think this vaccine is ready yet. I might be wrong, but that's my personal opinion. And I'm also eating healthy, taking care of myself. And I'm a young man. I think I'm healthy enough. I think I would rather risk catching the COVID and praying to God I don't die, and then my hopefully get some antibodies from that, and you know, build up my immune system and all of that. I don't listen. I just think this whole approach to this pandemic has been disastrous, and I think the government know and really does know that it has been disastrous, and I think their approach, instead of changing their approach, they're just like, you know what, let's just brute force this thing. Let's just force our wills upon people. And what you're gonna understand is that it's not going to be done that smoothly. You know, right now what you're doing is coercing people. You're telling that, oh, you can't go to work if you don't get it, and I see a lot of people online cheering it on. Yes, get the vaccine, and you're calling people dunce and they're anti-vaxxers. But this is not how this is not how a democracy is run. And this is a problem with a lot of you guys. You know, it's so easy to get you guys on certain bandwagons. At the start of this, everyone was like, no vaccine, no, we're not doing a vaccine. And as soon as they say, oh, listen, you can't travel, oh, you can't go on a restaurant, everybody switch up. Boy, someone in a militant that, tell me, I tell you. I wouldn't want to know help on my side if I were war. I go on that switch up quick. And let's be honest, people there are people with legitimate concern about the vaccine. Is this vaccine safe? I mean, I guess it's safe. I mean, a lot of people have taken it, they haven't died. You know, but we don't know the long-term implications of this vaccine. I mean, sure, we can just, you know, let's sacrifice it and just do it for now. Let's get our country back and let's sacrifice now. Earlier I was talking about, you know, we can't shut down the country for indefinitely. So okay, alright, I'll take one for the team, you know, for the greater good. But is this a situation where 5-10 years from now we're gonna be suffering from making a quick decision now? You know, these pharmaceutical companies. This is the thing, you know. A lot of you guys think that these conspiracy theories are just wild and overly exaggerated, but they're not really. If you just pay attention, you realize it's not. Like, listen, I'm not saying that there's a group of people who are just planning to just destroy human beings. No. But what you have to understand is that interests. People have different various interests. For instance, the government might really want to get the country open up back, and they listen to their experts saying that, I think if we have my mass vaccination, the country will be opening up back. And that is true, might be true. And then the government is looking to like pharmaceutical company like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and AstraZeneca, and saying, listen, we're going to need you to, you know, fast track this vaccine, and so that we can get the country open up back, and if you can do that, there's billions of dollars for you to make. You think AstraZeneca, these pharmaceutical companies, going to turn it down? No, they're not going to turn. That's billions of dollars. And this is where you have to question where the interest is. And so they will do what they have to do to ensure that they come up with a product, and not just any product. They're going to ensure that the product works or seemingly work. But what about the long-term effects? That's the thing. Nobody's talking about, oh, what are the long-term side effects of these things? Oh, what will it do to us in 5 years, 3 years from now? People aren't just dunce and stupid people when we ask these questions. Because you think Pfizer and Moderna are going to like come out and say, no, we don't recommend a vaccine. We don't know the long-term implications. You know, the first thing they do during this thing, because was ensure that they cannot be prosecuted for anything. And they got that immunity. And the reason why they got that immunity was because, again, they were being pressured from countries and the so-called experts and the government to fast track this vaccine, because everybody wanted the country to open up. And they are following along, and they figure that, listen, this is rush. So We don't want you guys to blame us for anything. You request us to rush this vaccine, we're gonna rush it, and we're gonna make a lot of money, and we don't want to have to deal with any consequences. So people aren't stupid when they say that they don't sure about the vaccine. Like, I'm going to wait as long as possible before I take it. Again, I've been vaccinated before. I think the last time I got some vaccine shot was in high school. That was around 10 years ago or so. I'm not even sure about the details, but it was some time ago. So it's not like I'm anti-vaccine, anti-science, or anything like that. I'm just, I think it's very common sense to just wait out. If I have to travel and it's required for me to take the vaccine, I might do it. That's a compromise that I'm willing to take if the traveling isn't, if I'm going to have to travel for work or anything like that. But beyond that, I don't see myself taking it. And I'm not going out. I'm not, if I have to go on the road, I wear my mask and all of that. And I won't be cussing anyone. I won't be calling anyone who take it stupid. I won't be calling anyone who don't take it stupid. I'm just saying that we are human beings. We are free. We are free to make the choices that we want to make, and we must also remember that the choices that we make comes with consequences, not just for yourself but for others. Right? So for those who don't want to take the vaccine, please don't be going to parties. Please don't possibly going out and spreading the virus. If you really don't want to take it, then stay at your home, like I am doing. I'm staying home. I'm not trying to sick anyone sick. I don't go anywhere. I don't really enjoy party that much. I'm what you call boring. But yeah, that's just my few cents. I'm just talking right off the top of my head, so I'm not even sure. Listen, all I'm saying is that I think we have to approach these things better. I think there's better ways to approach these things, and this is one of the things. You see, when you lead with fear, these are the type of results that you have. This is why it's never important to lead with fear. I will admit fear is very effective in controlling people, but only in the short term. Long term, it doesn't work. Because what happens when you control people with fear is that you remove rationality. And so that is why you start to see these cross conversations and discussions around vaccine and all of that. People, one side is calling one side stupid, the next side is calling one next side stupid, because both sides are operating off of fear. One side is operating off of the fear that if we don't get vaccine, more people are going to die. We won't be able to go out there, and we won't be able to go party. We won't be able to leave our homes. We're going to have to lock down for indefinitely. That's fear and frustration. So a lot of people, when they hear that vaccine is the solution, they start lashing out and saying that, listen, will everyone just take the vaccine and shut up? Because the government has put us in a cage of fear. Those in charge have used fear as the driving force to get things done and make decisions. And the other side is like so fearful of the vaccine being, like the conspiracy say, New World Order. And the things are happening. They have the right to be questioning these things. Oh, the government is most countries around the world are making it mandatory. Are we now going to a new era of dictatorship and authoritarianism and all of that shit? And so they are operating on fear as well, and they are rejecting this vaccine out of fear and all of that. So both sides are operating on fear, and fear is not a good strategy long term. Short term, it's work. When we just read that the virus came in, everybody was so fearful, and we obeyed the lockdown. But what you find out is that after a period of time, fear doesn't work anymore, because this is what happened. Eventually, people have to deal with the realities of their life. So while we were fearful in the first, probably like last year, 2020, and the first couple 6 months of 2020, eventually, override fear? Hunger, interest. Oh, I want to travel, I don't care no more if I have to catch the virus. My kids need money, we have to go up on the road, I don't care. So what happens is that people have other emotions, anger, love, hate, that override this fear, and then this is why you have chaos. We don't know where to go, we don't even know what, and most people don't know what's happening. Because take for instance Israel had vaccinated almost all their population, and there's no outbreak in Israel again. Now, a lot of pro-vaxxers will say, no, we expected that the virus will still be here, but at least no one is going to be hospitalized or dead. I mean, that might be true, at least for now. But why is Israel locking down again? So okay, you're right. At least no one will be hospitalized and no one will die. But if almost everyone in Israel is vaccine, why are they shutting down the country again? I think the point wasn't the point of the vaccine to get us ready to live our life normally and just go out and enjoy it. So why is Israel locking down again? And you start you see, if you just sit yourself down and ask a couple of questions, you start to realize that a lot of these narratives that we're creating in our head just don't hold up, and they don't really make any sense. All we have to do is just ask some questions. Or maybe I'm just too stupid to understand why Israel is shutting. But if the point of the vaccine is to eventually get us to open up, why is Israel, who's almost completely vaccinated, shutting down back it and doing quarantine and all of that? Australia shutting down. In UK was shutting down. America, almost 50% is vaccinated. Almost 50% of the population is vaccinated, and they are now considering shutting down again. Now making mass mandate. I was just in the Bahamas. When I was going to the Bahamas, all I took was a PCR test. When I was coming back from the Bahamas, I took a PCR test. I was there for work, right? When I was there, the last part, when I was there, they said that if you're vaccinated, you can come to the country without, and you don't have to take a PCR test, a COVID-19 test, and you don't have to wear a mask. Just the other day, now back here, and I'm reading up that now, whether you're vaccinated or not, you still have to do a PCR test and you have to wear a mask. So what is the benefit of this vaccine? Oh, okay, I guess they say that at least you won't die as peace, you won't be hospitalized. Well, if that's the only benefit of the vaccine, it don't need to be mandatory then. Those who don't want to risk dying, just take the vaccine, and those who don't want to take the vaccine risk dying. What's the big deal? If everybody who wants the vaccine have taken the vaccine, and those who don't want the vaccine don't, what is this? That means that those who don't want the vaccine are okay with risking their lives, and those who take the vaccine won't have to worry about going to the hospitalized or dying. That's the crux of the matter that I'm seeing right now. Because as far as I see, that's the only benefit of the vaccine currently. Because you still have to get tested, you still have to wear masks, you still have to do all those annoying things. The only benefit, it seems, from the talking point and reading the news is the fact that you won't die, and you won't get a severe COVID experience. So that seems to be the only benefits currently. And if that is the only benefits, I don't see why we're having this big debate about making it mandatory or not. Because those who want the vaccine will have to take the vaccine by now, and those who don't want it won't take it. And well, I guess they're gonna force them to take it, so I guess they might take it. But I don't see the big deal, because now you still have to take a COVID test to go certain places. It doesn't make any sense. But maybe I'm the one who don't have any sense, and so I'm talking nonsense. So anyway, I'm gonna end this right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure you watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, bye.